Bravo. It's about time that he rang the chimes, don't you think? Good morning, everyone. My name is Irene Passmore, and I currently serve as co-chair of the Caring Committee along with Kat Grasso, and we welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. This morning, we welcome once again Brian Gilmore as our guest musician. Thank you, Brian, for continuing to be with us and share your talents. I draw your attention to the back side of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those on the live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. Following today's story wisdom, kids are invited to join Sunday Fun Day with Lucas Mednes. You'll have games and crafts, getting to know each other, and most importantly, having fun while in community. After the service, those gathered here in person are welcome to visit with one another. Refreshments will be served in the community room right down the hall, and people of all ages are welcome to visit with one another. If you are new to us, please do visit our website, uucmc.org, where you can sign up to get all the latest news of the congregation by email. We look forward to getting to know you better. And now please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together, and welcome again to this place of love and hope.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Craig Rubano, and how good it is to be with you this morning. I welcome our streaming audience, whether live or in the future, and of course I welcome all of you here in our beautiful Earth Room sanctuary. We acknowledge the Lenni Lenape as the original people of the land where we gather today. We recognize the continued presence of Lenape people in their homeland and affirm the aspiration of the great Lenape chief, Tamanan, that there be harmony between the indigenous people of this land and the descendants of the immigrants to this land, as long as the rivers and creeks flow and the sun, moon, and stars shine. I add my words of welcome to Irene's for our musical friend Brian Gilmore being with us today. I know many of you had the privilege of experiencing Brian and Friends last Saturday in concert right here because you keep coming up to tell me how wonderful it was. I'm sorry I missed it, but it is always wonderful and a privilege to have you among us, Brian. Throughout the service, with a Debussy interlude, we will be hearing the entirety of Beethoven's Sonata No. 6 in F major. You just heard the first movement. 3 years ago, I began tea time on Zoom on Thursday afternoons, where a group of us gathers to check in with one another, hold each other in our mutual care, and listen to our stories. And to get conversation started and provide an anchor for our get-togethers, I have been providing a poem that has moved me on some level. I included in my Wednesday meditation, which goes out every week. I am to be in the pulpit the coming Sunday. My late professor of pastoral care, Donald Capps, used to say that a poem leads readers to break their usual ways of framing events and assists them to locate in a new frame of meaning delivered by the poem, to locate themselves in a new frame of meaning delivered by the poem. In life, as in a poem, the meaning of things is subject to interpretation. And I have witnessed in my own heart the shifts that happen when I hear the stories that flow out of the exercise of interpreting a poem. For after all, poetry is also intricately connected with sharing feelings about the world, about communicating across boundaries. So this morning, we bring tea time to Sunday morning. And I invite you to listen as various poems are shared across the service, and indeed as special music with its own meaning subject to interpretation is performed. See how your life intersects with these proffered pieces and with those doing the sharing, and see your life anew in a new frame of meaning. I find a poem a good metaphor for what we do more broadly as a congregation. We gather, we provide sanctuary for different selves, each of us distinct, and as we listen, we are expanded, we are enlightened, we are challenged, we are disabused of erroneous thinking we may have harbored, we are given new frames of meaning. In short, we grow together, and community is created in our midst. So this morning we will bear witness to the truth that poetry creates community, as we hear from members of our Tea Time Band, and then some other friends too. For our call to worship then, with the word worship understood in its original meaning of a shaping concern for all that is of worth, I invite to the pulpit our first poem sharer, Lois Farina Riley.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lois Farina Riley, and I'm very happy to be here and to have gotten to know a lot of you. And I'm going to read from a book that my mother bought in 1951, eventually gifting it to me, and I've always cherished it. And this poem represents my feelings about people in my world. It's called Garden in My Heart, and the poet's name is James J. Metcalf. I have a garden in my heart where friendly flowers grow, and each one has the gentle name of somebody I know. Their petals are the memories of passing smiles and tears. Their stems are sturdy shafts of love that last throughout the years. I tend my garden carefully and keep its beauty bright beneath a kindly sun by day and faithful stars at night. The wind may blow, the snow may fall, the rain may gather gloom, but in the garden of my heart, the flowers always bloom. I do not ever pluck them for the vases on my shelves, because I know they would not last or multiply themselves. Thank you.
And so come, let us worship together. Each week, we place a flame in the center of a chalice cup to symbolize the inner sparks of each one of us, and to remind us that those sparks require the continual rekindling that community allows. This morning, I invite Corey Hoffman to share a poem with us as I light the chalice.
It's a good thing I'm not in charge here. I could never have thought of a pine cone or a pomegranate or a porcupine. And even if I'd thought of one, how on earth would I have engineered a comet or organized life in a pond? And where would I have found the energy to make each and every snowflake different? It's more like me to come up with one or two passable models, make a mold, crank them out. And it's not like me at all to finish up an entire mountain range and then go back and carefully touch up with teeny forests of moss on the north side of each stone. I've got a pretty good head for details, but it does seem likely that I'd have left off the dots on a ladybug's back and neglected to tie each and every strand of silk on every kernel of every ear of corn. Why, I've lived in a house for 2 years before I hung the curtains in the bedroom. I'd probably never get around to making a waterfall.
On this beautiful summer morning, I invite us to rise in body and our spirit to sing together our opening hymn, number 66, in the hymnals and on the screens, When the Summer Sun is Shining.
Me.
We have 2 story wisdom segments this morning, and I want to invite Marinelle Mukherjee to the pulpit for the first one.
Good morning. My name's Marinelle Mukherjee, and my poem is by Alfred Noyes. Everyone grumbled. The sky was gray. We had nothing to do and nothing to say. We were nearing the end of a dismal day, and there seemed to be nothing beyond. Then Daddy fell into the pond, and everyone's face grew merry and bright, and Timothy danced for sheer delight. Give me the camera, quick, oh quick. He's crawling out of the duckweed. Click. Then the gardener suddenly slapped his knee and doubled over, shaking silently. And the ducks all quacked as if they were daft, and it sounded as if the old drake laughed. Oh, there wasn't a thing that didn't respond when Daddy fell into the pond.
And now I have something to offer. Once upon a time, on a hill far away, lived some people who forgot how to play. They forgot how to laugh, they forgot how to sing, and they did the same things every day. The sun was always bright and the sky was always blue, and seldom a cloud floated by. The gardens grew up tall and gave food enough for all, and birds sang in the trees way up high, but the birds were never heard, and the sky was never seen, for the people worked so hard just to keep things clean. The town was so tidy, and the houses were so neat, and everything was perfect on each and every street. The moon and stars were bright every single night, but the people never saw such a heaven. They had dinner at 5, washed the dishes by 6, and were tucked in bed by 7. As the sun shone on another perfect day, it called to the wind to say, they are so busy cleaning with their noses to the ground, they don't see the beauty all around. They must do something different. They must do something new to help get a different point of view. And you know what to do. Said the wind, something different can be arranged. And that was the day the wind changed. It blew very cold and blew very strong, and soon there were dark clouds in the sky. Snowflakes began to fall and covered one and all, and the people were afraid they would die. They felt very cold and were grumpy as can be, and they hid in their houses all day. But a girl named Hope, who was different, so they say, went out in her garden to play. She bunched up some snow and made a little ball. When it rolled on the ground, it grew, so she bunched up some more and was having lots of fun, and soon she had quite a few. She called to her friends, come along and play. We can make snowballs all day. If we make lots of balls and roll them around, there'll be less snow left on the ground. So the children followed Hope and frolicked in the snow and pushed lots of balls around. Then they noticed something very strange as they pushed and pushed and pushed. Something was very, very wrong. They were pushing up the hill, and they knew if they let go, the balls would roll back down. They would pick up speed and get bigger as they rolled and damage all the houses in the town. What can we do? They shouted out loud. Then young Hope knew just what to say. She called to the grown-ups, who were hidden in their homes, and said, won't you come out to play? And they came to their windows and peeked outside and cried, How will we keep warm when everything is frozen? Everything is cold. We'll never survive this storm. The wind heard their cries and howled through the town with a fierce and furious roar. It blew very hard and picked up some snow that landed at every door. "Come on out," roared the wind. "Have courage. Be brave. Your lives are in danger if you hide. The children need your help to save the town." And with that, every door opened wide. Wearing hats and coats, scarves and gloves and boots upon their feet, all the people yelled, "We're on our way!" and went out on every street. They ran up the hill to see Hope and her friends standing high above the town where they had held balls with all their might so they wouldn't roll back down. When the grown-ups joined the children and started to push, they grunted really loud. They got nice and warm and started to laugh and forgot about the snow and the cloud. For they saw the dilemma of pushing snow uphill. It was silly and really quite daft. But they knew it must be done, so they made it fun, and they laughed and laughed and laughed. They kept on pushing the balls up the hill. With a final heave, they were on top. They yelled out, "Yay!" and everyone gave a hug, and the laughter just wouldn't stop. They stacked the balls up high, way up to the sky, and made a big snow wall along the ground. And inside it was warm, so they laughed and sang and danced while the wind blew around and around. The sun heard their laughter and heard the people sing and called to the wind as it blew, "They have done something different. They have done something new. Now you know what to do." Said the wind to the sun, "They're having so much fun, I'll help them with their play." So the wind changed direction. It blew warm and fresh and blew the clouds far away. The sun came shining through and the snow began to melt, and the people danced home with delight. Soon the grass was green and the flowers were in bloom, and the town was a very pretty sight. Snowflakes turned to rain and became a gentle shower that washed away all the snow. Then, with the help from the sun beaming brightly up above, the raindrops made a rainbow. Water from the snow on top of the hill slowly trickled on down. It carried the memory of the laughter and the songs while it watered all the gardens in the town. The gardens were more beautiful than ever before, and the people's lives were rearranged. Now, every day, they do something different together, for they'll not forget the day the wind changed. The people of the town had forgotten how to dream together, how to put their heads together and imagine new solutions to their problems. And as it turns out, working together, doing something different, doing something new, helped them get a different point of view. And they changed what they were going through, remembering how to laugh, how to sing, and how to dance. So let's do a little singing right now as we send our younger people to their Sunday Fun Day activities with Go Now in Peace.
Every week in this congregation, we are provided with an opportunity to practice generosity, which is one of those 6 core values of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation. For those of you present here in the meeting house, the plates will be passed by the ushers. You may also join this time of generosity via text at 732-538-8888. 8819, or send your offering by mail, or charge your contribution online. Please give generously.
Hi, I'm Jane Reskoff. In a flash, most weeks, I begin the reflections on tea time, a gathering of you folks with the intention of reading, absorbing, and enjoying the chosen poem from Reverend Craig. Once the realization came to me that I was usually the opening speaker, I began to wonder why. Why is this so? My probing mind asked itself. Do I even know the answer? Like most of the poetry, there are layers of meaning to this as well. Could it be my wicked, abominable old nemesis, the what-ifs? What if my tongue gets all twisted? What if I start coughing? What if I get short of breath? What if I don't make any sense? Could be, I tell myself. So I hurry up, go first, and get my comments over with. Then I will be able to relax and listen to other voices. For to listen completely, politely, and with all my senses is an imperative component of tea time for me. We meander with mosaics of poetry, from flowers having the gift of language, prayers for imagination, singing in the wild branches, to the Transgender Day of Visibility and beyond. There is always an invitation for each to share how these varied poems touch us at tea time. That's part of the beauty of our time together on selected Thursdays at 4, hearing the interpretations, meanings, feelings, and thoughts each poem evokes in those of us present in our little tiny square Zoom boxes. To be privy to others' innermost reflections and imaginings regarding how each person perceives the poet's words is a learned lesson each time we meet. It is so illuminating to come to this part of the meeting. To hear all the different takeaways is a marvel in itself. Never mind hearing the enlightening way that Reverend Craig presents the poet's words to us. Such a joy, all. This tea time has given me a new appreciation for poetry in general. It has opened vistas that were previously gummed up and clogged to the enormous power of poetic words. Their construction, their variation, their ability to awaken my mind to the expressive capability of another has been so informative. So, if you like what I've offered here about my own reaction to tea time, possibly you'd be open to joining this impressive, important group of friends as we reflect and enjoy poetry at its finest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jane. I think you bring to mind the lessons from our story Wisdom, how important it is not to forget to dream together, to solve problems together, to be together, creating community. We'll now hear 2 poems, then we'll dip back into Beethoven's Piano Sonata number 6 with Brian, and then hear 2 more poems.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Rhea Carroll, and I like to tell you that I love dandelions. So I wrote a poem about the dandelion. It is dark, moist, and warm. There is movement, and I move up very slowly. There is light. I feel very warm. There is a bright yellow light, and it is the sun. A slight breeze moves me gently. It's spring. I am yellow and bright like the sun. Sometimes the rain and wind blows very hard, and it is hard to hold on, but I do. Sometimes the rain is gentle and feeds me. The wind is caressing me as tender as a baby's kiss. I am fed, and I am glorious, peaceful, wonderful. I bask in this idea for a while. It is warm, and I know that a magnificent summer will be here soon. Things are changing. My beautiful yellow color is slowly turning into white magnificence. I feel light and open. The wind blows, and I feel movement. I am flying gracefully through the air, feeling the warmth, feeling the beauty of all there is and knowing I have it all. I slowly come down to earth and go back into that warm, dark place, grateful to be on this wonderful journey. The journey continues infinitely. I am the dandelion.
Hello, my name's Edna Larson, and I'll be reading The Road Not Taken. 2 roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves that no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, but knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Good morning, everyone. My name is William Wilson. My pronoun is one, O-N-E. We are not all he, we are not all she, but we are all one, O-N-E. The poem I'm going to read today, I did not choose. I gave a booklet that was made for me by a good friend and client of mine that included 11 poems, and I asked Reverend Craig to choose one of the poems. And he chose, and I want to thank him for choosing To the Wondrous I Am Drawn, because it drew me back. It's a poem to the memory of Peter D. Ospensky, who was a Russian mathematician born in March of 1878. And he was also what they refer to as an esotericist. And he wrote a book called In Search of the Miraculous, another book called Tertia Organum, another book called The Fourth Way. And this poem is what I wrote in his honor. I only became aware of him when I went to school in college. And the poem consists of 14 lines. Most of the lines are only 5, 6, 7 words at the most. I'm going to repeat some of the lines for emphasis to you. I ask you to particularly pay attention to the lines I repeat. And I want to thank Reverend Craig also for his tea time. That goes back 3 years. I don't think I missed a tea time, and a lot of you here have been to all of the tea times also, and they are marvelous. The last tea time, he chose a poem involving the importance of metaphor, how it opened doors. And the poem that I've written as an ode to Peter D. Ospensky is filled with metaphors that I'm hoping will open doors for you and give you cause for thought. The first, I'm going to begin now. To the wondrous I am drawn. To know its mysteries I was born. To hear a sound which cannot be heard. To hear a sound which cannot be heard. To read a page without a word. To read a page without a word. To perceive an image without a form. To perceive an image without a form. To feel the cold but still be warm. To experience hope in great despair. To be indifferent but still care. To be unfinished yet complete. To be victorious in defeat. To know the absolute of unity in space. To know that finiteness has no place. To know we answer to the call. To know that, quote, everything is all. And the ending, everything is all, is one of the philosophies that Ospensky ascribed to. Everything is all. And with that, I leave you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Tom Celandine. This is a brief poem I wrote a while ago. The Breeze. I am the breeze. I blow in from the sea. I sway the yellow dune flowers. I ruffle the hair. I caress the face. I help the seagull glide. I care not for what party rules Congress. I know nothing of slights. What is Twitter to me? I am the breeze. I blow in from the sea. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Reverend Rhea, Edna, Bill, and Tom. I've invited Maxine Gunther to lead us into a short time of prayer and meditation with a poem that she selected as well.
In meditation this morning, I would like to invite you into a brief practice of breathing from Qigong. It will bring us into a short poem. So I ask you to rest both feet on the floor. In Qigong practice, we connect to the earth. So imagine through your feet, you are connecting to the earth. Through the crown of your head, we connect to the universe, to the sky, to the heavens. So I'm not sitting, I'm standing, but rest your hands palm up on your lap. As you breathe in, bring your hands just up to your shoulders. So I breathe in, get to the top, pause, turn the hands over, breathe out back to your lap, pause, breathe in, pause at the top, breathe out, pause at the bottom. And know, continue the breathing in, the breathing out with the movement. And know that just 3 breaths begins to change our physiology and bring us into deep relaxation. And as you sit with hands on your lap, let me share with you a brief poem that was sent to me by one of my students who knew that I, like many of you, was a tree lover. This is by Becky Hemsley. And she stopped, and she heard what the trees said to her. And she sat there for hours, not wanting to leave. For the forest said nothing. It just let her breathe.
I give up. In our story wisdom, it turned out that when they worked together, they remembered how to laugh. They remembered how to sing. And they remembered how to dance, which led me to select our closing hymn. I know a favorite of many here, Let It Be a Dance We Do. I've shared this story before, but I think it always bears repeating. Because when I experienced this hymn, I flashed back to purchasing my own copy of the Gray Hymnal from UU Princeton's bookstore. They had a bookstore at the time. And it happened to be right after the Reverend Rick Maston had visited the congregation as a guest musician and minister. Maston had earned the distinction of preaching in the most UU congregations of any other minister in history, over 500 congregations in 49 states. He was also the author of number 311 in the hymnal, Let It Be a Dance. And having seen the hymnals on sale, after the service, Maston insisted on flipping to his composition in each hymnal and making a change with a blue pen. Rather than, in the final stanza, share the laughter, bear the pain, B-E-A-R, bear the pain, as it is printed in the hymnal, he crossed out and wrote bear, B-A-R-E, bear the pain, and made a note at the bottom of the page, as per the author, followed by an exclamation point. Now, it struck me as irrelevant in one sense, because to the ear, the line sounds exactly the same, B-E-A-R-B-A-R-E, bear the pain. But he knew folks would be reading as they sang, and the distinction made a difference to him. So rather than sharing laughter and bearing pain like a load, B-E-A-R, Maston insisted that we share laughter and bear our pain, B-A-R-E. Strip away the silence around pain and unburden ourselves to a degree by sharing our pain in community. At the time, he knew he was in the cancer battle that would eventually take his life. So perhaps he knew firsthand the power of caring community. His message has always stayed with me, as it has remained in my personal hymnal where he wrote it. On the slides, it will be the corrected version, but if you have the hymnal with you, you will see the original spelling. I invite us to rise in body under spirit and create community as we sing our final closing hymn, number 311, and on the screens, Let It Be a Dance.
Let
Let it be a dance we do indeed. My heartfelt thanks to all of our poem presenters today, and we still have one more. If I were Rick Maston, I would go around and change all of your orders of service and add the name of Kat Grosso, but I'm not Rick Maston. So you're just going to have to believe that we knew Kat was coming today with the poem she has selected. You've all invited us to the dance, all you poetry sharers. We've enjoyed playing together with you. So following our closing words of benediction, delivered by Kat Grosso, I invite us to remain seated, to hear the rousing conclusion of Beethoven's Piano Sonata number 6 in F major.
And just so that you know, this is one of the poems that Reverend Craig chose for one of our tea time sessions, so that you get a sense of the kinds of things that we talk about. This poem is called Wherever You Are, and it's by, thank you, Maya Stein. Wherever you are, be there. Take up space, occupy the full dimension, unfold the map of your body, celebrate its topographical wonder, its unpredictable weather. Make a pool of your movements, then swim through the ripples, parting the room with your footsteps and making no apology for the squeak of your soles, how your jacket swishes at your thighs, that the dust is making you sneeze. Consider it all a kind of orchestra, you tuning the keys, you lifting the horn of your whole self to the air. Let the notes of you blast out at a register and speed that won't leave you hungry or empty. Let anyone hear as they walk by with their shoulders up or pretending not to listen. Wherever you are, remember why you are here, to sing.
Thank you so much, Brian. It's always wonderful to have you with us. And let us go in peace to bless the world, and let us not ever forget to play. All right.